cleaning soap recipe is easy to make and fantastic for a variety of soap uses. It's also easy to make the bars into liquid soap. I use this cleaning soap recipe as a base for dish soap, laundry soap, shampoo, and body wash. The recipe features just 3 simple ingredients: coconut oil, sodium hydroxide, another name for lye, and plain water. It is a heated soap, so it doesn't need to cure for 6 weeks like a cold processed soap would. You can start using it the next day. For this recipe, you'll need 68 ounces of coconut oil, 11.8 ounces of sodium hydroxide, and 24 ounces of water. There's no need to use raw coconut oil for this cleaning soap recipe, which will be cooked anyway. I use organic expeller-pressed coconut oil, which is usually much cheaper. Since I also use this oil for cooking, I buy it in 1 or 5-gallon jugs from Azure Standard. Azure is a natural foods co-op that delivers to most of the United States. Sodium hydroxide, another name for lye, can be purchased on Amazon or eBay. Be sure to buy lye intended for soap making, not the type meant for drain cleaning. Although it is possible to emulsify soap with a lot of stirring, I prefer the easier method of using a stick immersion blender. You can use the same one you already have in your kitchen, or if you plan on making lots of soap, you might want to buy a dedicated soap-making blender. Finally, you will need a small scale such as a kitchen or postal scale to weigh the ingredients. This will ensure the correct proportions of lye and oil and prevent making soap that is too strong or too weak. Since lye is dangerous to work with before it is emulsified into soap, I try to plan my soap making for days when my kids are gone, or do it at nap time. It's important to wear eye protection and gloves when working with lye. Long sleeves will also help to protect your arms if any should splatter. Lye will burn your skin, but can be neutralized with plain vinegar. I always have a vinegar jug handy when making soap. Step 1. Weigh the water and pour it into a glass bowl. When the lye is mixed with the water, it will give off strong fumes at first, so should always be mixed outdoors. Before mixing the lye, put on your eye protection and gloves. Weigh the lye, then carefully pour it into the water. Slowly stir until the lye is completely dissolved. The water will begin to heat up. Leave the lye solution outdoors to cool partially, placing it in a place safe from kids and pets. Step 2. Measure the oil into a 12-quart or larger pot. Melt on medium-low heat until the oil is warmed. You can also use a crock pot if you have one large enough. Step 3. If you took them off, you'll want to put on your eye protection and gloves for this part. Bring the lye solution indoors. Carefully pour 1/3 of the lye solution into the pot of coconut oil. Place the stick blender in the pot, completely submerged in the oil, and blend for 20 to 30 seconds. Add another 1/3 of the lye and blend some more. Add the remainder of the lye and continue to blend for 20 to 30 seconds at a time, giving your blender frequent breaks so it doesn't burn out with all this hard work. Blend until the mixture reaches trace. Trace means that the oil and lye water have blended and thickened. You can check for trace by turning off the blender, lifting it out of the soap, and watching to see if the drips stay on the surface of the soap. Step 4. When the soap reaches trace, remove the stick blender and place the pot on the stove on low heat. Cook the soap on low for 45 minutes to 1 hour, stirring every few minutes to ensure the soap doesn't rise out of the pot. I work on dishes or other projects in between stirring, but I don't leave the kitchen. Step 5. After 45 minutes to 1 hour of cooking time, the soap should be thick and creamy. Carefully pour it into soap molds. You can make your own soap mold by lining a cardboard box with parchment paper. Smooth the soap out as well as you can and let it harden. Coconut oil soap gets hard fast, so it's easiest to cut the soap after about 3 hours, when it is set and still slightly warm. Cut into any shape you desire. I cut mine slightly longer and thinner than a normal soap bar, so the bars will fit in my food processor for grating. That's it. These soap bars can be used as is. Odd as it may sound, bar soap can be used for doing dishes. I prefer to make mine into a liquid dish soap. To make a liquid dish soap, Grate 1 4-ounce bar of soap with a cheese grater or the grater attachment of a food processor. Put the grated soap in a pot with 2.5 cups of water. Bring to a boil over medium heat. Cool and add essential oils if desired. Citrus oils such as lemon or grapefruit are fantastic for the kitchen, but you can use any oils you choose or omit them altogether. Optionally, blend the cooled soap in a blender for 20 seconds. This helps it not to separate and gives you a nicer finished product. Pour the soap into a squirt bottle and it's ready to go. The soap and water amounts in this dish soap recipe are flexible. You can add more water if your soap gets too thick, or more soap if it isn't thick enough. It just comes down to your preference. For laundry soap, grate the soap with a cheese grater. A food processor with a grater attachment really works well and saves a lot of time for this project. I like to mix up a gallon of laundry soap at a time. You can use plain grated soap to wash clothes. That's what Grandma did. But this recipe is closer to the commercial laundry detergents most of us are used to. It has 4 ounces of grated cleaning soap, 1/2 cup of washing soda, and 1/2 cup borax, or an additional 1/2 cup of washing soda. You mix all the ingredients, adding essential oils if desired. I use 2 tablespoons of soap for a normal large load of laundry. Liquid shampoo or body wash is pretty much made the same way as a liquid dish soap. Grate a 4-ounce bar of soap with a cheese grater or the grater attachment of a food processor. Put the grated soap in a pot with 2.5 to 3.5 cups of water. Bring to a boil over medium heat. Cool and add essential oils if desired. Lavender is my favorite. Optionally, blend the cooled soap in a blender for 20 seconds. This helps it not to separate and gives you a nicer finished product. Pour the soap into a squirt bottle and it's ready to go. The soap and water amounts in this body wash recipe are flexible. You can add more water if your soap is too thick, or more soap if it isn't thick enough. It just comes down to your preference.